is the realness. Check one, check two. This is authentic. Check one, check two. This Chaz and Alicia with the realness. I always want to do that. Thanks.
You talking about you used to want to be a radio personality, right? What you think? Hey.
Hey. Check one, check two. This is the realness. Check one, check two. This is authentic. Check one, check two. This Chaz and Alicia with the realness. I always want to do that. Thanks.
You talking about you used to want to be a radio personality, right? What you think? It was pretty cool. But hey,
and that was off the top of my head. I love it.
Everybody, welcome to your Authentic Love Marriage Moment with Chaz and the newest member of WKRP.
Alicia Rapper Cody.
All of you who don't remember the show WKRP in Cincinnati, hey, you know.
Oh, I love that show.
You're too young to know that. But, hey, welcome.
Hey, we're your hosts of Your Authentic Love Marriage Moment.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know we are kind of acting a little silly, but hey, we're getting ready to get to work because we have something heavy that we want to talk to you about.
Yeah. So it's a real serious matter.
It's heavy. Okay.
Right.
It's heavy to where it's one of those that make you want to think.
Right.
Okay. And we're still talking about communication in marriage.
Yeah.
We're still in the communication in marriage series here in season 2 episode 4.
Right.
Okay, and what are we talking about tonight, babe?
Hey, so we are talking about communication in marriage, but what happens when the word divorce is mentioned? How do you communicate after that? Like, so we know that a lot of people don't know, but divorce is used as a dissolution, right? Like, it's not a solution. It's not a solution to things, and a lot of people probably don't understand that. They was like, you know what? I'm just tired. I'm just tired of going over the same old thing. But in all actuality, sometimes it's not the same old thing. It feels like the same old thing, but then it is called growth and development. So you probably have to grow through it and develop it, grow through and develop through it. But then you want to say, you know what? I'm just tired. I think it's time for us to do divorce, and because I'm tired of developing. And so when you tired of developing or growing through it, you're stopping growth. You're stopping something. And it's a dissolution. So divorce, the D word, instead of us saying divorce through this whole session, excuse me, this whole taping, we're gonna say dissolution, the dissolution of marriage. The breakdown, like, hey, this is yours, this is mine, split the kids, and hey, I go on my way. But in all actuality, it's not a solution, it's a dissolution, because everything is in a array, in a disarray as well.
Mm-hmm. So, divorce, right? What is the
dissolution?
Origin? What is the origin of divorce? Okay. I don't want to get in trouble with any Bible scholars that's out there that may be listening to this. So I'm not going to go that deep into it, although I can, okay, because I did a little small study on it. But however, for this topic, I'm going to kind of shorten it up a little bit. The origin of divorce was back from the biblical days, okay, where it was during the Moses, children of Israel time, probably even before that, okay, where men was just pretty much getting rid of their wives because of, you didn't fix my plate right, I don't like the way I don't like the color you wore, something of that nature, right? So there had to be a law that was put in place, okay, if there's going to be divorce, and since the man is the breadwinner, if you send your wife away, you have to send her away with something, with means of funds, transportation, because she has the children. Okay.
So that's what spousal support
and all of that, right? So this is not something that just come up in the 1900s or nothing. It's been the word divorce has been around for thousands of years.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
But here's what happened, right? The Webster's dictionary or whatever you look the word up, it's pretty much a dissolution,
like a dissolution,
right, of a marriage. It literally is a written piece of paper that terminates the marriage, right? So here's what happens, right? That's in the whatever state that you live in, right? But as I said before, marriage is a godly act, right? Marriage is a godly act. Right. So when certain words are mentioned in the midst of conversation,
right,
especially in a marriage, when the divorce word is mentioned and both parties agree, there's something internal that happens. And what is that? What is that happens internally, right? you revert back to single-mindedness.
Mm-hmm.
You revert back to survival. You're working back on me, myself, and I.
Right.
And if there's children that's involved, I'm only concerned about me and mine.
Right.
You know, you go into that single-mindedness mode instead of thinking we. You only thinking I.
Me, myself, and I. Right.
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 And when
me, myself, and I.
And if nobody is there to intercept that thinking of both parties, right? That single-mindedness and that thinking increases.
It does. It does.
Right? You'll begin to talk to somebody that feels sorry for you, especially if you have girlfriends or homeboys that agree with what you're saying. That just intensifies your thinking. Right?
Yeah, you're right. Right.
And when it go ahead.
Right. And then for a woman, like, you know, like all the things that you did mention, you know, but for a woman, she well, it's survival mode for her. That is her first line of defense is survival mode. Her first line of defense is, oh, what about my babies? How I'm gonna take care of my kids? How you know, I would like to keep them in the same school district and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So her first line of defense is that, like, you know what, will he, you know, honor spousal support or stuff like that. So that is her first line of defense. Now, we always say that you should not mention the D word, the divorce word, and dissolution, right? And when it does happen, and if it slips out, and if it comes out, you have to think, do I really want to divorce my spouse? Or was I just saying that in anger, trying to get leverage? Do not play with that word, because that word is like a spirit, and it takes on its own entity. It's like, for instance, I would like to liken it to Spider-Man when Venom took over him, you know, and you just see how all that black stuff is just coming in, and it just takes over you. And so that's when the first line of defense for a woman is survival mode. Then for a man, his first line of defense is single-mindedness and how he would survive in this world today with the single-minded.
And you know, which is great point that you just made about the difference about how a woman thinks and the man thinks, which is true, because the man does think, okay, I'm single, she don't want me no more, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and scout around,
right?
You know, I'm gonna have fun,
right?
You know, you know, you begin to you know, redo the things you did before you were married, even in the dating stage. You go back to the gym, you start working out, you start getting this stuff together, but it still hurts. Right? It's
still the pain there.
The pain is still there.
The pain of separation is there. And so for the men, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead, babe.
So, you know, what happens is, you know, you really begin to think, especially if you're in the middle ages, if you're in the late 30s, 40s, even 50s, right?
Yes.
You know, you're thinking like, okay, here I am at this age. I want to settle down with somebody.
Exactly.
I don't want to have to go through the rat race of getting a divorce and then trying to get to know somebody over again.
But you know what, though? That part right there, getting to know somebody else over again. And some people jump back out there so quickly that they don't get to know themselves in their single-mindedness. And then they think that, okay, I'll just go ahead and get someone else. And in your mind, you're probably not saying it. You're hoping that they can take the place of the spouse that you're trying to replace. Right. So you're trying to replace this spouse, and you're thinking like, okay, well, I could just get out there, but it doesn't work like that, because you know why? You know why, babe?
Why?
There's a thing called soul ties.
Oh, talk about that.
Right. So there's a thing. There's a thing called soul ties.
Yeah.
You've been married 20 years, 10 years, 9 years, you learned how to intertwine and soul tie your lives together. Your souls are intertwined. You might think it's easy to get somebody, and matter of fact, you might get somebody that look just like your spouse, right? You get somebody that look just like your spouse, but they're not gonna think like them. They're not gonna smell like them. They're not going to respond to you with those things you think about. So you may do something, you may blow in her ear, and she'd be like, "What are you doing? Don't blow in my ear. I don't like nobody blowing in my ear. Why are you blowing in my ear?" But then your old spouse, the one you're trying to replace, she still like you to blow in her ear, right? Or you may you may organize the cabinet, with the food in the cans a certain way, and and the new person you're trying to replace her, she just willy-nilly just throw stuff everywhere. Okay, well, it's done, food put away, and you're like thinking like, no, we went grocery shopping, did you wipe that off? Did you do this? Because your wife or your spouse that you're trying to replace or that you're with, you got to enjoy or learn to adopt or learn to love their quirkiness, or learn to love that we wrote in our book, their idiosyncrasies, right?
Marriage Coaching 101 Daily Tools at readerhouse.com. Continue.
Okay. All right. Shameless plug. Thanks for that commercial. But yeah, so you learn to love the idiosyncrasies and things that that make irk or quirk someone, that irk someone else. But you're like, man, I love the way my baby twitch her nose. I love the way she snores. Dude, she looks so cute when she's snoring, when she, what I'm saying? So it's those things. But then when you're trying to intertwine your life with someone else and you really haven't given yourself a time to, work them out your system, out of your soul, which is, your soul, your mind, it's a very real part of you.
Now, I want to throw something in there, okay, from a coaching perspective, from a couple that coach couples as a business. I want to say this, right? And I want to be clear about this, right?
Be clear, baby.
If the word divorce is mentioned and it's in an abusive behavior, if there's abuse in the household, if there's abuse mentally, physically, okay, I want to say this to you: get professional help immediately
and get to a safe place.
Get to a safe place.
Especially if it's abuse for a man abusing a woman, get to a safe place.
Get to a safe place. Get immediate counsel.
Get out.
I can't stress this enough to couples. If there's an abusive relationship, get to a safe place and seek professional help. Okay?
Good plug in, that's right.
Seek professional help.
Right.
Because, right, you do not want to stay in a relationship where you are being physically and emotionally abused. Okay? I want to be serious with that because we've had couples like this. Okay? And it's not fair to the person that's getting abused to put up with that.
Right. And trying to hold on and knowing that her life could be in danger at any moment.
Right. I want to stress that because one, it's your life at stake. Number two, there could be children involved. And if the children are young, they may think that that is the way life should be.
And it isn't.
And it's not.
It's not.
Okay. It is not. Right. So I want to put that in there because if we're talking about divorce and there's reasons for the divorce, especially we want to make sure we mention if there's any abuse that's in the relationship.
Right. And
get
those
to
abuse,
a safe
right. There's
place
some of the
and
ones
seek help.
It could be sexual abuse. It could be, a lot of different type of abuse. Now, abuse is abuse. And if it's in whichever one, whether we mention or not, get out and get to a safe place.
Yes.
Now going back to divorce, and it's a healthy couple, right? And we're gonna divorce because we're just tired. I think we have outgrown each other.
Irreconcilable differences.
I want to just go through a dissolution. Let's just let's separate first and then see if we're going to go through divorce. There is a percentage out there that I don't know right offhand, but if you separate 9 times out of 10, you'll probably continue on with divorce, only because you've gotten used to single-mindedness and being by yourself, and you're thinking to yourself, do I really want to go back and try to make this work? And I'm kind of enjoying, being on my own and stuff like that. It's just some people just decide that they don't want to be with that person.
And here, we thought this would be a great time to discuss this because one of our sports figures that is a very high-profile athlete right now, and their names, he's getting a divorce after 13 years of marriage.
And it happened so quickly.
And they've been married just as long as we have.
Right. And here's the thing to that, we don't know the reasons behind that. So, we could just say, oh, well, the careers got in their way, right? And stuff like that. But I believe that like for us, Chaz and Alicia, we're gonna fight for our marriage. We're gonna fight for each other. We're gonna fight to win.
Yes.
We're gonna fight for our love.
Yes.
We're gonna and healthy fighting. No, I'm because when you throw the divorce word on the table, the other person, sometimes it's what do you call it? Oh my God. Sometimes it's pride.
Yes.
So the pride, hold your thought with that one, because I want you to come in with that. Sometimes it's pride, like, oh, so you want to divorce me? Well, dang, let's go on through it. Yeah. All right, throw your hat in the ring. I'm throwing my hat in the ring. And it's pride, and neither one of us want to be the first to say goodbye. Sorry, that's the song. But in actuality, neither one of us want to be the first to say goodbye. But your pride is like, man, because he said he want to divorce me. Man, what I'm saying? And then you just go, let's go all the way to the courthouse. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
just to give you one of our experiences, early in our marriage, it had to be about a year or so.
So our second year of marriage.
We had one of those very high intense moments of fellowship, right? Okay. And I think I was going somewhere, and when I come home, all my stuff is at the door. So my stuff is at the door, and it's like, you better not be home when I get back. But I politely took my stuff back, put it in the room, and put a sign on the door saying, I am not going nowhere. I am here until death do us part.
I'm here to stay.
She walks back in the house and says, babe, I'm glad you didn't leave.
I'm so glad you stayed.
I'm glad you stayed. But here, my mind was made up. Because
our mind is made up.
For me, I'm in it to win it. I'm here. Divorce is not an option in our marriage. It's not. Because why?
No matter how tight it gets, how hard it gets, you there's a thing that he's talking about now, repositioning yourself or pivoting, or you're going to have to pivot, and then don't get to the point where you say, no, we have outgrown each other. No, pivot in your marriage.
Yes.
Go, just change that.
Change is always good. Mm-hmm. It might be a setback, but a setback is a setup for a comeback.
And it might feel like a setback, but again, it's just a reposition. I'm just repositioning myself. But I'm still here.
So, hey, we may be able to do a part 2 on this because this is very important for couples to know. just don't loosely throw out the D word,
or
divorce.
Right. Or, when you think about divorce, I want you to always think about dissolution. So, is divorce the only solution? So, let's dissolution. Let's dilute this.
Yes. So, hey, we took up enough time with you guys because this is a subject that we actually had something else to talk about. But after we talked about tonight's show, we both agreed that we need to talk about the word divorce and what it means in a marriage.
Right. And we wanted to come from it's still communication, because how are you going to talk about divorce if you're not communicating? Okay.
Right.
But it's still communication. We still wanted to get it out there. And like Chad said, it may be a second part to this, but we had to get that out there, get it to you, our subscribers. And look, hit what you always tell them? Hit
make sure. Okay, she's going. I'm looking for more because she on fire tonight.
I know.
Okay, she's on fire. Actually, she came up with this topic, and hey, kudos to my wife for hearing the spirit. Hearing from the spirit and saying, babe, this is what we got to talk about. And I'm like, hey,
because we're seeing so many.
Okay, we're seeing it in our business. And we just want to put the awareness out there to talk about it in this season. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, hey, we pray that you got something out of that. If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, if you've been watching some of our little small clips on Instagram, hey, look, get home base. YouTube, Facebook, hit like, subscribe, share, tell a friend that Your Authentic Love Marriage Moment is live with Chaz and Alicia Owens. Hey, listen, the next couple of shows that we're going to be doing, we got something in store for you.
A lineup for you.
We got a little lineup. We've been working.
Right, we got some subject matter experts. We got a wife coach who is off the chain,
and we have a couple that's off the chain. Two couples. So they're getting ready to grace our studios with their presence and with their expertise. We'll give you enough notice on when it's coming down, but hey, we've been working to find people that's in our field to give a little bit more insight and give a little bit more education about this life and this journey called marriage.
Yes.
Right? So we want to let you all know that, hey, we're getting ready to spice it up a little bit and we're getting ready to go deep. So with that being said, stay tuned. Tell a friend about Authentic Love Marriage Moment. Like, subscribe, share. And tell a friend. And don't forget. All right. And don't forget to authenticate your marriage. Hey, this is Chaz and Alicia with Your Authentic Love Marriage Moment. Hey, you guys take care, and we will see you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. All right? Eastern Standard Time, or wherever you're watching it from, stay tuned. We'll talk to you next week. See you soon. Bye-bye.